Chief Adam Brown, what can you tell us happened?
Today at approximately 6:21 p.m., police received a call of a person shot at the Grand Court Apartments, 7610 Blanding Boulevard, apartment 410. While en route to the call, Officer James Busk spotted a vehicle and suspect that matched the description just broadcast over the police radio. Officer Busk attempted a traffic stop in the area of Blanding Boulevard and 103rd Street, and the suspect fled. A pursuit ensued, and during the pursuit, the suspect repeatedly drove toward oncoming cars as if he was trying to ram them. Fearing for the safety of the citizens in the area, Officer Busk performed a pit maneuver which caused the suspect to his vehicle to spin out and stop in the 6700 block of London Bridge Lane. The officer exited his vehicle as the suspect vehicle rolled forward a few feet. The suspect then exited the vehicle with a firearm. Officer Busk directed the suspect to stop, but he turned toward Busk with the firearm. Busk fired his weapon, striking the suspect. The suspect then spun around and raised the weapon toward Officer Busk, and he fired again, this time killing the suspect. The individual who was shot in the original call was transported to UF Health. I do not have any further information at this time on the individual who was shot in the original call. Now, I have some information for you on the officer involved. It's Officer J.E., goes by James, last name Busk, B-U-S-Q-U-E. His ID is 68926. He's assigned to Zone 4, Watch 4 Blue. His date of employment is 12/29 of 2009. He has approximately 4 years with us. This is his first shooting with the JSO. He fired 4 rounds. The time of the original call was 6:21. The time of the officer-involved shooting was 6:29, which will show you how quickly this all unfolded. If you guys have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them at this time.
When the suspect came out of his car with the weapon, did he point it directly at the officer, or I guess how did that work?
It's early in the investigation. I don't have all of that information yet. The information that I do have is as the suspect exited, he had a firearm in his hand. This was confirmed by a witness. We have an eyewitness at the scene who saw that. When the officer commanded him to stop, the suspect turned toward him with the firearm in his hand. The actual positioning of the firearm, I'm not sure of that.
Any idea what led up to the shooting at the apartment complex?
No, I don't have that information at this time.
I'm sorry to clarify, there was a shooting at the apartment complex that brought you out originally.
Correct. And that's what Officer Busk was originally responding to, the shooting call. It was a dispute and a shooting. And the individual who was shot by Officer Busk here was the suspect in the shooting on Blanding Boulevard.
Okay. And that was, what was the numerical on Blanding? Apartment 410 numerical?
That was, give me just a minute, 7610 Blanding Boulevard, and that's the Grand Court Apartments, and that's Grande.
And he's on administrative leave, I assume, as a standard policy?
He will be as standard policy, yes.
What are your thoughts? Did it appear that he handled himself properly in trying to apprehend a suspect here?
Absolutely. I think he handled himself properly, and he handled himself courageously. He had to take quick action. As I stated, during the pursuit, he was repeatedly driving toward oncoming cars, like he was playing chicken with these cars. The officer had to do something immediately in order to avert a tragedy.
Was he by himself, or were there other officers around at the time?
At first, there were 2 officers, and due to traffic and I guess the route of the pursuit, it ended up when the pit maneuver was affected, Officer Busk was alone.
Were there other people around when the shooting happened who could have been hit by in crossfire?
There was an eyewitness across the street on one side of the street, and there were a couple of witnesses further down the street that were in their front yard.
How many different scenes are there? The apartment shooting, this one obviously, is there one where he tried to originally stop on that landing area in 103rd, or is that not necessarily?
To the best of my knowledge, that was just he attempted a traffic stop and the suspect fled. So we just have this one and the one on Blanding.
You've recovered the weapon from the suspect?
Yeah, yes we have.
Do you know what kind of gun it was?
No, I don't have that.
How old was the victim or the suspect?
I don't have any information on the suspect or on the victim who's at UF Health at this time. Now, as you know, we'll have another press conference tomorrow.
Suspect is a man, though?
Well, he is a male. He's a black male.
The other shooting victim, male, female?
Male. And we'll have that information for you tomorrow.
Any other questions?
Thank
All
you,
right.
Chief.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
You're very welcome.